We're going to have a look at this, what's happening in America at the moment. Cory Booker did a record more than 24-hour speech. We are going to actually tie it into why he's doing it, though. 3 News tonight had a good story about, I guess maybe you guys will talk about this tomorrow night when we know more, Chewie, but this is I want to say Federation Day, Liberation Day, where apparently the average American may be up for about $9,000 more costs in their cost of living per annum. But he's doing it for the work.
Understanding of what liberation means.
Here we go.
Businesses around the world, including here in New Zealand, are bracing for President Trump's next round of US tariffs. They're set to be announced tomorrow morning, and while no one quite knows how far he's going to go, Europe has its retaliation locked and loaded.
America.
Senior reporter Juliet Speedy has the latest.
Donald Trump would have announced his global tariffs today, but with it being April Fool's Day in America, he thought better of it.
My understanding is that the tariff announcement...
Do you believe that? He thought better of it? I doubt it. Someone else thought better of it. And when you are enough of a joke already, Donald, maybe we shouldn't give them this punchline. So they decided not to.
Will come tomorrow. They will be effective immediately. And the president has been teasing this for quite some time, as you know. He's talked a lot about April 2nd as Liberation Day in America. It would be taking place today if not for April Fool's Day.
But global leaders...
Yeah, how are we going to screw every single citizen of America? It's so funny.
I detest that woman. Like, she is terrible.
Yeah, all right. So the world is checking in. Here we go.
But global leaders aren't laughing. They've spent months bracing for what may be coming.
Europe has not started this confrontation. We do not necessarily want to retaliate.
I think Hamas started it, didn't they? Isn't that what the Americans think? No matter what it was, didn't Hamas start this? Something like that?
But if it is necessary, we have a strong plan to retaliate, and we will use it.
The US president has also been preparing for this day for months. But being Donald Trump, no one can be sure what to expect until he actually makes the announcement.
If you look at the sort of direct impact, the likes of New Zealand wine, New Zealand meat are a little bit more in the firing line, alongside some of our manufactured goods and machinery.
Taranaki's Egmont Manuka honey exports to 30 countries, but the US is its biggest market.
We have very large contracts with Costco, USA, Costco Wholesale.
Wonder if they would sponsor a podcast, because I like their honey. Their honey is very good. It's very good. I like you could sponsor like a sweet podcast, a sweet ass podcast.
At this point, Pat, just do an ad read.
Okay, I'll do it later.
Do it on spec.
Walmart, Albertsons, which is another big supermarket chain over there. So a significant amount of our business. It's our largest market.
He says he'll likely send any tariff-related costs back to the US.
Of course.
When it comes to pricing, we're already putting our best foot forward. So there's not a lot of margin left to suck up a tariff. So in my view, we'll probably have to have a discussion with the retailers about, adding that to our cost price, which I guess ultimately gets pushed onto the consumers.
And in fact, some estimates say Trump's tariffs could cost American households an average of more than 9,000 New Zealand dollars every year.
Sheesh.
One US senator today breaking records with a speech that was more than 25 hours long to show Democrats' resistance to Trump's sweeping actions.
What does his liberation mean to people?
They broadcast the whole thing too. Either C-SPAN and YouTube and stuff broadcast the whole 25 hours.
People who can't afford homes because of his tariffs.
And while some industries brace, it's the wider impact of potential global economic slowdown, market volatility and currency fluctuations that is a bigger concern here.
So we are watching not only what comes out directly from the US, but what everyone else does, particularly Europe, because some of these big economies, if they do immediately retaliate, and it seems likely that they will, that is a real risk for New Zealand's economic growth.
The government here preparing.
Needless to say that the government has thought hard about what things might happen and what would be the smartest way to respond on behalf of the New Zealand people.
We've got this. We'll be cool, calm, collected, intelligent. We'll work our way through the issues once we find out at 9 o'clock tomorrow.
And when that moment comes, the world will be watching.
Oh, that's the end of the story. I was just looking at the prices of honey whilst that story was going on. Manuka honey, UMF.
Welcome to 3.
Manuka honey, UMF 20 plus 500 grams, $220, Chewie. $220. Anyway.
I'm going to start at the end of that clip. If you're going to show a clip of Donald Trump standing at the top of a flight of stairs and then go, the whole world is watching, what we are watching for is Donald Trump falling backwards down those stairs. That's it.
At the very least, what we're looking for is the toilet paper to be attached to the sole of the shoe. That's the very least we want.
His history with the stairs going up to the airplane, amazing. The time that he didn't know how to fold up an umbrella, so he just
went.
Also amazing. So I want to talk about Cory Booker's speech.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, I think we all know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. He was doing a filibuster. As long as someone is speaking, they can't progress with the vote. And that's what he did. He absolutely smashed the previous record, which I believe was 20 hours, by getting to 26 hours of an uninterrupted speech. So how do you fill that time? You fill that time with making sure that you have enough material to talk about every single piece of misinformation or every single time that Donald Trump has told a lie to the American people. That's what he was talking about. That's the information he was imparting. And so he got 26 hours.
Because Republicans in the past have read children's stories. Like they've literally just read out children's stories as a way. So he actually did the whole time, my understanding is, actually talking about substantive things all the way through, which is really impressive.
This is an excellent point, Pursuit. I'm going to put it up. Pursuit 82 here says, don't forget that the previous record was against the civil rights bill. So I'm glad that they can get that record off the books. No one cares about second place, especially if it's for that. Yeah, just absolutely, like, yes, the rule about a filibuster is ultimately a very, very silly thing, but it's the American system, so of course it's silly and pointless. I wish that the Democrats were resisting what is happening with more than just talking for a really long time, but
they can't do much else. They can't do much else because that's because they have the numbers. The Republicans have the numbers, so they can only do sort of symbolic things.
I would like to know the answer to this as well. 26 hours. How does this work? You have to stay awake for the 26 hours. You really can't stop talking. There's no breaks. Food?
No, there are breaks, but they're very few. They're very few. So, yep, they do exist though.
And the other thing that has been mentioned in the chat is, of course, and like this is common to pretty much every politician in the States. Yes, Cory Booker has been quite vocal on the support of Israel. So, yeah, while he may be a hero in this particular thing, in this particular moment, like a lot of things, he is by no means on the left by our standards.
What is that saying? Don't let perfect get in the way of good. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
He's good. He's good.
Well, goodish. Like if you balance it, I don't like.
Hang on. Have we just changed that? Don't let perfect get in the way of goodish. Is that what we're doing?
No, I'm like, again, the balance of there's a genocide going on. Do you recognize it? And I don't like Donald Trump's trade tariffs.
No, he's not. He's good. No, he's not.
He's
fair enough.
Good-ish on maybe domestic things, but certainly doesn't recognize a genocide.
This is the hardest thing, yeah, especially in American politics. Oh, there you go. Look, we're happy to put your stuff up there, guys. He isn't good. This is the hardest thing, right? Okay, let's say he's not good. So what do you do? Because if you don't do anything, you get Donald Trump followed by JD Vance, who then you
do this. You do what we're doing. We go, hey, here's the cool thing that he did. That's great. But also give it context of the fact, no, I'm not going to hold this guy up as a fucking paragon of American politics. I'm going to say that he's a fucking conflicted dude. And I'm going to provide some context to think, yes, this thing that he's doing is good.
There you go. Rajan says he's bad, which is good compared to the other side, which is insane. I mean, I still believe really strongly.
That's the fairest comment. That's the fairest one.
I believe really strongly that every time you vote, the people you're voting for have to earn it. I don't accept that kind of, sit around Hillary Clinton and those kinds of people, they're blaming the people who didn't vote for Hillary for Trump getting in and that kind of stuff. It's like, no, Hillary's got to earn those votes. I actually do believe that, even though what I've just said, it's like, but you also need to be aware, like, for example, Chippy wasn't your cup of tea, so you didn't vote because you couldn't. Fine, that's not. I have no problems with that. But you have to also be aware that there are downstream effects from that. Not that you're responsible for it, because you're fully entitled not to vote. They have to earn your vote, and if they can't and you don't vote, I'm okay with that. But there's a second line which doesn't negate that. That says you then also have to accept that what you're saying is the other side might get it, and it might be 10 times worse. That's all.
I mean, let's say
real.
we're all transported to his congressional district or whatever. Cory Booker going up against whoever, and you go, well, okay, he's supporting genocide, and I don't like that. But this guy that he's running against is supporting double the genocide and will make the domestic situation fucking worse. I've got to vote for someone. And I think this is the thing that people get tied up in knots on, and they go, oh, well, okay, well, I can't bring myself to vote for this person. Cool. So double genocide dude gets in because all of his supporters want triple genocide. It's politics. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? This fun podcast that we're on, talking about the fun of politics.
Shall I show you a clip of Kiwis fighting in someone's backyard? Is that what we need?
Oh, no, because we'll find out that one of the Kiwis is a Nazi.
Yeah, one of the Kiwis is a Nazi. So we can't do that. We can't enjoy that.
You can't see the little armband on his little stumpy wing.
But what you can enjoy is, I wasn't really listening to you, Chewie, then, because I did indeed order some Egmont honey. So that's now done. So thanks, Egmont. Done that.